here, so he gets to be the lone player spokesman. We'll start with Coach's statement.
Well, getting ready to go into week 9 now, so again, the season's flying by. Excited about this Hawaii game, homecoming game, so real excited. Should be a great atmosphere out there at Sam Boyd, and we're fired up to get back out there and keep on competing for a W.
Tony, how much did you think coming to the job you might recruit Hawaii, like USC, a lot of the Mormon schools, a lot of the Polynesians will go to these schools. It seems like everyone has Hawaiian players, and yet are there that many Hawaiian kids who can play there? Because you always think of Hawaii as a smaller place. So, like, what's your view of recruiting Hawaii? And do you think there's more players than people realize?
Well, when you look at per capita, and I know every year it fluctuates, but there's been times where per capita they've been number 2 in the United States in producing Division I football players, and it usually fluctuates between 2, 3, 4, 5. The first opportunity I had to go to Hawaii was when I was, coaching at Gorman. We got to go play St. Louis, and it was great. We played on a Saturday, so Thursday night we went out and watched games. Friday night we went out and watched games, and I remember coming back to the hotel talking to the coaches about, wow, you talk about a talent-laden area. Unbelievably passionate, unbelievable talent out there. So, and you see it. They're splashed all over, and it's not just Hawaii; it's just the whole Polynesian, culture from America, Samoa, Hawaii. A lot of different places, and they've made a huge impact on the game of college football.
Will you go there each year?
Well, you know what? Last year, my first visit, last year, we will go there each year. So, yeah, absolutely. There's a huge influence on our team. When you look at it, too, our nickname's the Ninth Island. I believe, if I read the number correctly, we have over 100,000 Polynesians living right here in our Las Vegas Valley. It's a comfortable place, and I think they enjoy it here. I think it's a place where, you can make a good life for yourself, and, again, there's a natural fit. So, I've said it from the beginning, that's one of the places that we're going to really recruit heavily.
Penny, when you're a kid in Hawaii growing up or there, it seems like if there's all these players there, is there a sense that they want to get off the islands because you would think that Hawaii football might have been better than it has been? Is there a sense there that, because everyone wants to go to Hawaii who doesn't live there, right. Is there a sense also that kids there want to be on their own and get off the islands, and that's perhaps why they haven't been able to maybe build a program that people might have thought they could?
Yeah, there kind of is, for example, me, when I was playing ball back in the islands, we kind of been in the island for too long, so we kind of look forward to coming out, get off the rock, as they say, and come out somewhere here in the States.
You think there's better players than people realize there?
You talking about in Hawaii?
In Hawaii, throughout.
Hawaii produces good players, but other states, they do the same thing too. So.
And I know you weren't the coach last season when UNLV played there, but I'm sure you know what happened at the end of that game. You probably don't have to remind your players this week about it, do you?
Not a lot. We'll talk about it a little bit. We haven't done that yet, but again, our seniors, this guy sitting right next to me, they know what happened. They haven't forgotten it, and that was an unfortunate situation. It looked like the clock might have been mismanaged a little bit, and that's a victory that I think a lot of guys in our locker room feel like they should have had and earned. So it is what it is. It's just one of those deals you move on from. But our guys haven't forgotten that.
Penny, I'm sure that's a pretty vivid memory. Is that something that you guys use as fuel this week?
We go out and compete every game, every week the same. But it was a heartbreaker. But we just got to come out this week and make sure that doesn't happen again.
Interim coach and everything, do you expect them to do much different?
I've known Coach Chow for a while. He's a good man. He's always been really good to me, so it was unfortunate to see that. But yeah, normally in those situations, teams are going to be emotional one way or the other, so I fully expect a fired up team to come on out and play hard for their old coach, play hard for their new coach. Again, there's a lot of connections between Hawaii and Vegas, so there's gonna be a lot of fans, for Hawaii here too. So it's a big game, and I fully expect them to come out and play well. And when you look at their season, it's a tough one. They had a 1-point last play of the game lost to New Mexico, a 14-point loss to San Diego State. They had to lead the majority of the night against Reno and ended up losing that game. So they've played well early on. They've had a tough schedule though. When you look at the way they've traveled around the country, going to places like Ohio State and such, but it's a team that beat Colorado coming off, that first game. So you cannot take these guys lightly. They're going to come out, and they're going to be a physical team.
You watch that Ohio State game. They were right there with them. They gave them all kinds of head.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're watching them on film this week, and you're scratching your head, and you're like, hey, this is a dangerous football team. This is not a team you can take lightly.
You expect an energized Hawaii team just because a lot of times with the coaching change, you get that?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think you got to prepare to, like everyone's going to come on fire, to play. But we need to be that way too. We've done a good job through this point of, you haven't seen an emotional letdown. That's the one thing that we haven't had this year, and you got to fight to maintain that. It's hard to go through an entire season and not have that happen. So one of the biggest things is, again, whatever energy they bring here, we need to be able to match it. We are the ones at home. It is our homecoming game. It's, we're fighting and we're scrapping, and we haven't had the results we wanted, but we've played hard. So I think our guys they're excited about another opportunity to go out there and get a win, and there's only 4 left. There's 4 left on the schedule. Again, it's one at a time, but again, one of those goals on the board is still in play right now, but you got to take it. Told our guys on Sunday night, it's one game season. You get that W, then you can talk about it being another one game season. We got to keep it going.
This obviously isn't Boise State's defensive line, so would your hope be that the balance, you can attempt to come back to the balance, because you ran, like we said after the game, that you pretty much run against anyone except them, because they're very good.
Yep.
So do you think this matchup might allow you to get back to more of a balance that you prefer?
Absolutely. We talked about it, and one of the things I told the team today is there was over 100 passes thrown in the Boise game. That's not an overly physical game. Sometimes that's the way it needs to be played on both sides, but we should be fresh when it comes to that. Our backs weren't overused, and we need to be able to run the football to win the game. So, I think there's some things that we can take advantage of. We got to do a really good job up front, and we need some big plays, but we will run the ball more.
Tony, any concern from you or your staff that Hawaii might game plan a little bit differently with the interim head coach?
We talked about that. Now, the biggest thing with there is I don't know if they're going to game plan a lot differently, but there might be a lot more wild cards out there. They may throw caution to the wind a little bit, take some more chances, do a couple different things, maybe be a little bit more high pressure. Normally in those situations, you're not going to be real reserved and conservative on things. You're going to just, hey, let it go. You know what? We got nothing to lose. Our coach is gone, and let's just go out and play hard, have fun, and enjoy it. And I think sometimes, us guys who have these jobs right now, we can't, ever forget that too, and make sure our guys are having fun, make sure they are playing with their, with their hair down a little bit, and they are enjoying the process. And you see that energy, and we need to be able to do that too. But I'm sure they will.
Yeah, and you've obviously had a few days to digest the Boise State game and the outcome there.
Yep.
Do you overall feel good about what took place?
Again, it's, and I said it on Saturday, and I still feel it. As a competitor, you're disappointed because at the end of the day, you want to walk away with the wins, right? But, when you go back and you watch the film, you can't discredit the guy's effort. You can't discredit the fact that we struggled a little bit defensively early in the game, and then we came out in the third quarter and we're lights out, got some 3 and outs, got a defensive touchdown. Offensively, we did a good job of keeping ourselves in the game. We moved the ball. We stalled out a couple of times. We stayed within 7 points the entire night. And, then at the 11-point mark, it got really difficult. But even then, the play gets overturned. They go down and score. Our win still didn't go out of ourselves. We got the ball. We drove all the way down the field to the 5-yard line. And from that point, it got away from us. So, the positives are our kids fight. They don't give up. They play hard, and they do it against anybody. You take a team like Boise that's been ranked the majority of the year, knocked off some Pac-12 teams, and we're right there making them, fight their tail off just to come away with a win out of Las Vegas, and we've done it all year. So negatives, we don't like the final outcome. Positives, we're getting better, we're growing, and we compete our tails off.
You feel the same way, Penny? How would you kind of feel, or sum up how you feel walking away? It was a close game, throughout majority of the game, and like Coach Sanchez says, we were out there competing and stuff, and it just a bummer we didn't get the result we was looking for.
How important is it to start getting those results instead of just coming close? Not for your team, but also for the community.
Yeah, and it is important, and again, I think you need to, we got to look at, where we're at right now, and we're not in a bad place. Again, when you look back at the past and what we've been able to do, we're competing at a level week in and week out that we haven't done. There is improvement there. Again, that's not the improvement we're all looking for, but that's growth. When you're taking over and it's year one and you need to create more depth and there's certain things you need to address. Again, off-season after off-season, diet, nutrition, doing things right on and off the field, competing at a high level. A lot of those things are being checked off. Unfortunately, they haven't all resulted in that win column, right? But there's 4 more chances. We're at 100% of the victories we were at last year and 100% of where we've been 8 of the last 11 years. We go out, we get a victory, we're 50% better than we've been 8 of the last 11 years. So again, it's one of those deals where, for a senior sitting next to me, that's a tough thing to swallow, but I think that all these guys know that we didn't look for the quick fix. We did not come in and game plan for the future. We didn't overplay the young guys. We did what we needed to do to try and win every single game, and I think that our seniors really feel that. And that makes a big difference when it comes to the chemistry in the locker room and our guys knowing what we're all about and where we're going from here. So, again, we got a bunch of winners on our staff, guys that have been around a lot of different places, guys that have been a part of turnarounds. That's why there's no panic here, because we know that we are in a good situation. And if you're a football coach around this country and you've played us, you know we're getting better.
Penny, what about that? What the coach just touched on as a senior, just about what it means to, I guess, the overall growth of the program, and also this final month you want to finish strong. Just how important is that?
Right. We definitely want to finish strong, and like Coach Sanchez. I remember when he first came in. He told us when we were all sitting in here. He wants to win, and he wants to win immediately. And one of the things I like that I've heard him say is that he's not a patient guy. He wants to win, and he wants to do it right away.
This game has to have significance for you more so than others because you are a senior and you're playing where you're from. And does it mean anything more to your family or anything like that?
I mean, there's just a outer state rival. It's Hawaii, another football team on our schedule, and we're just gonna approach them as we would if it was another team. So.
That was an in-state rivalry.
I guess you can say that too.
Do you have a ton of friends on the team?
I do. I got a couple people I've played with. I played against and with on the same team from high school. So.
Tony, what's your earliest recollection of homecoming?
Oh man, freshman year in high school, worrying about whether or not I was gonna have a date. Yeah, it was. The homecoming was always fun. Because and I told the guys at the end of practice today. There's a lot of people that have a chance to come back. Thank goodness it's not a Friday night game, right? Like it was last year. But we have so many people that are going to come back, and it's their one opportunity to bring their families, to come back to Las Vegas, to come back to UNLV, show their kids where they played or where they went to school, and get involved in the festivities. So it's a great opportunity for us to show all of our alumni and the people that are coming back and traveling back who we are and where we're going and the energy of the program and what the future could look like. So it's a big deal. Those are, when again, like Penny says, we treat every game the same as far as your preparation, but there's a couple of games you play throughout the year. You got our Cannon game, you got our homecoming game, certain games like that, they carry a little bit more weight because you're going to get a different crowd, and you're going to get more people out there that don't normally get a chance to go.
Did you get that date as a freshman?
I did. I got the date as a freshman. It was pretty good. It's kind of funny, though. Freshman homecoming, Oakland A's were playing the Dodgers, and I was an A's fan. We grew up in the Bay Area, and we were about an hour late to dinner because we were waiting for the end of that game, and Kirk Gibson absolutely ruined the night.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Wonderful moment.
No, it was terrible. It was, we were bad dates that night, let me tell you.
That's funny.
Benny, what are your thoughts on homecoming? Your high school or your earliest thoughts about homecoming?
What do you mean as in?
What does homecoming mean to you? Did you go on dates? Did you have the homecoming dance? What are your thoughts on homecoming?
I think it's exciting. It's exciting not only for the football team but the people around too. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Were you the homecoming king in your high school?
I was asked to, but I wasn't trying to deal with any of that. So I just want to get to game day and play.
He's a serious guy, I lost. I got nominated, but I didn't win.
I see it.
Giants fan, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony, have you heard from anybody that might be coming back? I know a few years ago, Icky Woods was here.
We haven't. But I'm sure the other people, again, our football foundation, we got a nice little deal on Thursday. We'll bring the seniors in and eat lunch and, and talk to those guys a little bit. And then Friday night, there's actually it's Thursday night, I believe, there's an alumni get together that we'll be at and talk to them. So, again, homecoming is just that. It's, homecoming. You're bringing people back home that again, don't have a chance to come out every week and come and show your family, again, a big part of your past. So it's a neat deal.
Is that important? And obviously basketball is different because there's fewer guys even over the course of time. So they have an alumni game, you try to bring people back. Kruger, when he was here, was big on bringing guys back. How does that work in football, do you think?
Well, we need to really, again, it was such a fast and furious process this offseason. One of the things that we've talked about, and we've got a lot of things that we have not even implemented yet, but one of the things is reaching out to our alumni and getting them to feel like this is a place that, that they're welcome, and we saw it during spring ball. We had more ex-players coming out and being around, and we got a lot of notes and guys walking up to the office and saying hello. There's a lot of guys that are still here in town. I got to tell you what, I got a great, really nice voicemail from Randall Cunningham on Sunday, just encouraging us to keep on fighting and stuff. So there's a lot of alumni out there, and we need to keep tapping into that. We need to, reach out to them and, and have them come and talk to our players and let them know about their experiences. And that's a big thing, again, no matter how long I coach here, it'll always be the players' school, and that's it's an important thing to always remember.
See, Darius Mouton's number one corner. Does that have to do a little bit with McTyre's injury, or are you mixing?
Well, no, McTyre is the number one corner again this week,
Yes.
and then Mouton's in there, and so we're kind of banged up right now. You got Fred who's coming off the ankle injury. You got Mouton who's had an ankle injury. McTyre had the hand injury, and he came out of that game early last week. So really, all three of those guys are rotating in, helping each other out.
So it's really three guys, three
Yeah.
co-stars essentially.
Yep. And then you got Miles too that'll be playing also.
Anything new in Philippi or any of those guys?
Philippi's not in. JT Nettleton's out for the next 2 games. He was out last game and this game. He had a surgery. George Nafu, our running back, he's done a great job this year. He's out for the season. He has an ACL, so we've lost him for the year. Stephen Sweeney got an ACL too. He's out for the year. Michael Hughes and Kendall Keys are questionable for the game right now. That neither of them practiced today, so we'll see where we're at there. And then Bailey Lolangi, he is questionable for the game, and Decker is also questionable. He did not practice today.
With the same shoulder.
No other shoulder now.
And what's Hughes and Kendall Keys?
He took a pretty good shot, and he's just extremely sore right now. So
For both those guys? Hughes and Keys?
Hughes is Hughes had a concussion last week. Concussion symptoms. They're just trying to rule that out. So again, he was out there today. So we'll see again. He's day to day.
And you said Keys is general soreness?
Yeah, general soreness. Yeah, he ran onto the field with his helmet and gloves, and the training staff took him away from him today. So I love his energy though.
I mean, how serious is this thing with Decker? I mean, do you think that's right?
We'll see. I mean, he's been cleared, and we'll just kind of see his pain level throughout the week and see if he can do it. And it's one of those deals where we kind of been dealing with it all year, and we'll continue to battle. And we'll get Kurt ready to go, and if need be, Kurt will go out there and take the ball. And if Blake's ready, he'll go. And hopefully by Thursday we got him throwing the ball around. He's got a level of comfort that he feels like he can tolerate.
So it's his throwing shoulder this time.
Yeah.
Okay. He took some shots.
Yep, no doubt.
Taylor, you got that? No, all good. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.